The RavenCourt continues. We are on the third play day, everybody, and we have Towers of Doom again as our starting map. This time it's Team Dynouh going up against Team Skogh. Best of 3 series that we have now. As explained, there's a simple rule when it comes to drafting. Hero cannot be played twice in one match, so it's a little bit of Meta Madness light rules, a little bit of a tip to the hat for Meta Madness that they have here just to make things more interesting. Players were in favor of it, so it got adopted. And also, I guess, noteworthy is, some people will probably ask, like, hey, why don't we get in front of every single play day, the standings? The reason is simple. They're not playing the same amount of games every weekend, so at no point do you really have played like the standings after play day 1, play day 2, play day 3 for all of the teams. So it's kind of impossible to really give you a perfect picture on how that looks like, since it's never the same amount of matches. But you get a pretty good idea if you're following the flow of all of the games, which team is currently doing a good job and which team is at the top. I usually also talk a bit about it. We pointed out Madra's team just recently because they did just so well and had some very surprising showings, looked extremely strong. If they can keep that up, that's the question. If they can pull it off, that would be pretty sweet. But right now we're looking at Dynouh and his boys, and they are, of course, also on quite the streak here. So Towers of Doom is the map that kicks all of this off. And I'm just weirded out that it seems that Towers of Doom is our starting map. I promise this is not determined by the organization. The players actually go through map bans and then select the map, but somehow for the last couple of play days it feels like this is our starting map just continuously. Now when we see bans, we still have the Haka. We actually still have a lot of heroes up there on Towers of Doom you would consider banning or picking. So Lucio is up for quick rotations, the Haka is up if you want to have some extra top lane control, Blaze banned, Hogger band, Brightwing, all those heroes make, of course, perfect sense. It's still interesting to me that we have all of those still available here. And there's the Lucio ban. Okay, so Lucio gets banned. But in terms of first pick, oh, Tracer! Right away for Dynouh. Yeah, I don't mind that too much. So we get Dynouh with Tracer zipping around the others. And yeah, I want to see what he can pull off with that. Also what they're pairing on the support side with him. Technically, you can, of course, pair him with Anduin too. Get that light bomb engage going. Not with Genji, but with Tracer. One option. Amongst many, Malfurion comes to mind, a couple others. Diablo and Hanzo, so potential arrow into Apocalypse. We haven't really seen it too much. They go for the triple. So they're actually coming in here with Malfurion and with Tyrael. That is the holy trinity around Tracer. Those 3 together with the shields and also Malfurion's overheal, it's the perfect setup for Tracer. So if we want to empower her, that has been an absolute staple in drafting for 8 years at least. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Now, on the other side, as I was just about to explain, you can technically go into Hanzo's arrow into Apocalypse. Most of the time when we see those 2 together, that doesn't actually happen. Problem with it is simply that you need to sync it up very nicely, and then you still might not get enough out of it, especially with Tyrael running Sanctification likely on the other side. So more often than not we are seeing Hanzo going for the arrow, Diablo going for Lightning Breath, and them just not trying to utilize this as a wombo, since it can be very difficult to set it up, especially if the opponent is expecting it, which a good team of course always will. Urel banned, so a lot of side lanes at the top lane are gone, and with the lineup that gets played here, they're also getting rid of Sergeant Hammer. So no hammer time for this one. But yeah, double pick for the red team, as they are still lacking a support, of course. They have to deal with Tracer somehow. I mean, first of all, you don't want to go up against Sergeant Hammer, but Tracer in particular doesn't want to go up against a hero that has auto-attack power against her, since you can dodge skill shots, but you can't dodge the hammer attacks. The Haka and Anduin, that removes the Anduin... well, that removes... Oh, sorry, it still moves Genji into a position where he could be picked. The Haka, I personally absolutely love the Haka on this map too. I mean, again, he's one of the most played heroes, not only on Towers of Doom, but just generally speaking. And that extra macro that they get with it could really help them. Also, there is some CC that could be used against Tracer, always assuming that they're able to hit that. Final pick could be Genji, could go for that. Little light bomb, double Shimada here. And we get Abathar. Damn son, Abathar and Leo. Alright, all eyes on Tracer apparently. They're going all in on this one. Tracer, Malfurion, Tyrael and Abathar. Whew. I mean, that got spicy quickly. So Towers of Doom, that could be a pretty banging game here, with Dynouh just stealing the show. So how exactly is Team Skogh gonna deal with this? What's the final pick? It's Cassia. They go for Cassia here. Guys, best of 3. We are currently in the full round robin phase of the RavenCourt tournament. Played in number 3. Let's go into game number 1 between Team Dynouh and Team Skogh. Dynouh against Skogh, Towers of Doom. On the left, Dynouh himself on Tracer, the captain. We have Johan on Tyrael, Dequaza on Leoric, Rutsu on Abathar, and Captain Rex on Malfurion. On the right side of the map, Team Skogh with Skogh himself playing Diablo. Hunter Orc on Anduin, Max Passion with Dehaka, Bishops is playing Hanzo, his go-to, and Gavlo is playing Cassidy in game number 1. Very interesting draft here. I mean, particularly the Abathar pick together with Tracer is wild. This is something where we could see Dynouh become a one-man army, just getting all of that support with the shield and the overheal from Malfurion and Tyrael, and then of course also getting some assistance from Abathar. So this is going to be pretty cool. In the beginning, it means that we're having a 4 versus 5 when it comes to hit point pools in most team fights, so you got to be careful when you're running the Abathar team there. Try to get to level 10 as quickly as you can. But a super interesting lineup that the blue team has. And I'm curious how Team Skogh is going to deal with this now. Curious what they are going to do in order to get the lead in this best of 3 series. Already, Tracer, of course, trying to zip in and do some damage. Johan has to be careful here too. Oh, but they're going for kill number 1, and they nearly got it, but instead it is Tyrael that falls, and they cannot get the explosion counter kill. They got close as they went for Diablo, but it is a first blood for the red team after all. Rutsu in the middle, going for some slaps here. I like that. So he's going for some aggressive Abathar positioning. Maybe trying to bait them out a bit too, but obviously if he can body soak later on in the game, that would be absolutely sweet from his perspective. At the top, Dehaka, he's running the global. We have Hanzo now starting to move in as the red team is aggressively trying to steal those pumpkins away. Again, attempting to capitalize on the fact that there's only 4 hit point pools for the blue team at the current time. This is going to change though if Tracer is able to get a kill here. And they get a kill! Swing for the fences! Leo coming in and taking down Anduin. And this time the explosion is going to yield a second kill. Tyrael falls, but he is able to take Cassia with him. Doesn't change the fact that the red team claimed the camp. So they paid a price for it. 2 heroes went down. They only killed 1. Maybe Diablo. Oh, clutch. Oh, nearly falling to a minion. Dynouh dancing around them. But yeah, that early game was always going to be a bit tough with the Abathar pick towards the end of the draft. Still, very cool thing that they're trying to pull off here. Paralyzing Rage is now into, and I am a bit surprised that they didn't go even more aggressive with Tracer in some of these situations. I suppose we're going to see that later on. Now it's 2 kills to 2 on map number 1, and the altars are coming up. From the blue team's perspective, you want to have 1. Unlikely that you're going to get 2. If you can, great. I mean, if you can somehow get Abathar into a spot where he can soak the one at the top, for example, without falling, that's fantastic. But you have Dehaka against you, so whenever he sees the worm somewhere on the map, he could quickly tunnel in. So I assume they're going to prevent that from happening. Yes, Leo and Dehaka are indeed the 2 that are going for the channels right now. So shots are fired, they already have 1, but now it's down at the bottom of the map. And Max Passion misses the lick. So they're going to delay this as best as they can, but not too bad. And this is where also Abathar's body soak comes into play. He's doing exactly that. But look at Tyrael. This is the 3rd time that he has now died. Gets a nice explosion off though, and that also reduces his death timer quite significantly. But that was actually not too bad. Now they're going to lose this altar. They can't interrupt it further. But Bishops nearly was dropped here. Dequaza gets killed for that. So, yeah, again, you gotta be careful now, because you are falling behind in experience as these kills start to accumulate. Losing the altar this early in the game, particularly on this map, of course, isn't too big of an issue, simply because this is a comeback map. It always has been a comeback map. if you control the late game, you can come back from any kind of disadvantage here. We're getting the Swift Retribution, so even more assistance for Tracer. Locked and Loaded is in 2. I would not have been surprised to see Untouchable by Tracer, considering how much of an assist she's going to get from everything here. I wouldn't have put it past Dynouh. We saw the talent a few times, and this is one of the games where if he would have picked it, I would not have been surprised at all. But as is, Dynouh dies. They're trying for the camp, and they are losing a lot here. They lose another camp, they lose 3 heroes in the process, and this is not a good start. This is really not a good start. Level behind already. If anything, I'm a bit surprised how aggressive they are here. I mean, they went for the camp, and then the Quasar is the first one to fall after Tracer. And on the retreat, Malfurion is also not able to get out. So another camp now taken by Team Skogh. And they're doing well. They are doing very well here. They are now moving in with 6 pumpkins. Very likely they're going to destroy that keep now, or that bell tower, if they're pushing, which they, for now, stopped doing. But, yeah, it's getting a bit tricky for them, I'm not going to lie. It's 7 kills to 2. You are quite behind. If you lose more heroes now and the gap widens, then it's going to be an advantage that is going to be very difficult to bridge for them. So we'll see if they can do that or not. But for now at least, level 10 would be a welcome sight for the blue team, because that would mean that they also have an opportunity to well, to get Abathur's copy in action, and that's something that they gotta do here. Tracer is dead again. So Tracer gets caught once more. There's another arrow, and they actually go for the combo. They went for the combo. It did fail. So again, it's a big commitment, and if you don't get anything out of it, it's 2 cooldowns that you burn, but they are willing to risk that. So Apocalypse after Hanzo arrow, and they got the arrow through, connected. Apocalypse, maybe a bit too late there. But you can tell what's going to happen as the game continues. In addition, we are now having, well, the Mule trying to repair that bell tower. The problem is there's just not enough heroes here to really help out. They're zoning as best as they can. And they're still getting value out of Abathur's level 7 talent, but they need level 10. And there it is finally. So now they can play around Entomb. Already it seems that the Quasar is getting into position for it. Yep, but you have the Killjoy on the red team. Anduin pulls the target out of the Entomb, so it's just a cooldown grid. And he went for the bubble! He actually went for the bubble. Unbelievable. The best words. Yes, the best words. Everybody says so. It's fantastic. It's great. Incredible. Anduin with the holy word salvation. He goes full Donald on this one. The best words in the hands of... Oh, sanctification to save the day. Bubble is out. No interrupt there. Well, there you go. Finally, Tyrael gets in the light again, but a counter kill, and here's the explosion. That was a good one as well. So Tracer could get more kills for them now. It's 2 kills for 2. Both teams losing their support here. Tracer still low. Gavlo wants the kill, but now it's Abathur who's also assisting Tracer again. They're still fighting and interrupting as they're going for another one. But yeah, those 2 altars are both in play. Somebody could sneak down to the bottom and maybe channel the first one. It's 10 kills to 4. Apocalypse still hitting Leo. But they're going to be fine here. Alright, so 1 channel is in and they can get another one, I suppose. So we have 28 to 28 points and Tyrael is now channeling out the bottom of the map, but should be interrupted. Yeah, Bishops is going to get this one. Bishops is going to get the interrupt, so they're starting it off immediately again. Tracer is here, dashing out. Oh, Dynouh! Wow, the Haka really became a threat quickly, didn't he? So here we go again, another 5 versus 5 as both teams gear up for another big battle. And all eyes on Dynouh and Tyrael. Tyrael is getting a mad amount of trade value here. Both killed by Anduin, by the way. I mean, that hurts. That hurts the ego more so than the game. So the channel has happened. 4 more shots fired against the blue team. Anduin killing 2 heroes. Anduin is probably going to pause the game any second. This is the first time in his life that Anduin has actually killed anything, and then he killed 2 in a row. I mean, damn son. What do you know? All of a sudden he's getting some action. Tracer falling. That's of course always the, okay, the fight is over, let's move back. That's what always happens. But if you look at this, we have now 5 kills against Tyrael. So Tyrael is, I mean, he's second damage. No, not quite okay. Tracer's actually second damage. Yeah, Leo's Drain has done wonders against Diablo. But I gotta say that still he's dying a little bit too often here. And another wall stun, another kill. This is not really looking good for that front line. He gets mad value out of every single explosion here, but honestly he's using his trade a little bit too much. 13 kills against 4. It is not looking good now for Team Dynouh. It's not looking good at all. Yeah, they are struggling mightily here. And Dynouh's team has not lost a series yet. Dynouh's team has won all of their games, so both series have been won. But Skogh and Dynouh, when you're looking at the standing, are very close. Skogh before this was like in third place, with both of them doing a decent job here. So this is a pretty important victory for Team Skogh if they can pull it off. And for Dynouh's boys, it would be the first loss. Tracer is down again. She got the kill on Anduin, but that's just not going to be enough. Following up with a kill on Diablo, that helps a bit more. But this is still rough going for them as we speak. 37,000 damage for Leo as the top damage dealer of the blue team, and 53,000 for Hanzo. So, yeah, as is, we're having some interesting development there. And again, Dynouh had a stellar time with his team on the first few play days. They have been on an absolute roll, but at least in this one, Team Skogh has been doing well. 5 more shots fired, 19 to 28, and still the lead in experience, which is also going to help them with level 20, which they're about to get any second now. What am I saying? Level 20, level 16. We're not that deep into the game just yet. We're getting there slowly, but they will still need a bit more until they hit their storm talents. So, 16 is in, double pull therefore for Anduin, and that's the big one for our boy. So with the Glyph of Faith, he becomes even more annoying than he was previously. And they cannot take this bell tower back. The next altar phase is a triple altar phase, which makes matters even worse, but they can't really bring anything back here just now. In the middle, we got Dynouh zipping in out. He has been struggling more than he probably expected, and I thought he would be able to get more easy kills too, particularly after that Abathur pick. But he's still sitting at 32,000 damage. He died 4 times, 6 deaths on Tyrael, and the macro game on the map is now run completely by Team Skogh. So they are looking really good here. Like, very, very good. I just want to see what happens when we're getting level 16 and 20 also for Tracer and the rest of the blue team. Because you got to bring it back at some point. And with Leo, at least, you have the option of going into the Buried Alive. The problem is you have to... I mean, you have to pretty much aim for Anduin, don't you? If you don't, then you're not going to get value. Stuns in, Sanctification used, nice. That's a good deny. That's 1 cooldown traded against 2. They also put Tranquility out, though. Yeah, the attack is still going on, and they go once again for Tyrael, and despite the fact that the Sanctification was on point, it's another kill against Tyrael, who now died 7 times. Leo and Dehaka are taking top left, top right, but that is 5 shots fired against the blue team and only 3 against the other side, so 14 points against 25. And with Anduin now channeling here, it means we're looking at single digits for the blue team. So they're in deep shit, and they know it too. They gotta do something about it. Yeah, there's another kill, Malfurion is gone, and this just doesn't look good. Dynouh's team is falling apart at pretty much everywhere. Dynouh himself is also gonna die. So that's 3 kills that they just locked in again. And they're just looking at the map, is like, okay, what are we gonna do next, boys? Are we going boss? Are we just gonna try and push for some more structures? When are the camps coming back up again? What can we grab there? They have a 1.5 level lead, and indeed they're going for boss. So that pretty much means that the next altar... That's not quite fair. I mean, yes, technically the next altar, if they get the 4 shots, would end the game. But since Tyrael is taking this one back, they need a bit more. Either way, claiming the boss right now is going to be big. 4 more shots fired, 5 points against 25 with such a big lead in experience. Despite the fact that this is indeed the comeback map in the pool, this is nearly impossible. The problem is simply that level 12, unless they get some kills now, unless they force a fight on level 16 talents, we're gonna have level 20 in the hands of Team Skogh, and that should give them an altar, maybe more. They can claim a structure, that would be already a huge deal. So, yeah. Single altar on the map now. They're gonna rotate... actually? What are they trying to do? Setting up... Still looking for opponents, apparently, here. Okay. Baiting with the Haka a bit, I suppose, but yeah, that's not happening. So, both pumpkin camps are now taken at the bottom of the map by Team Dynouh, which is pretty good for them. But let's not forget, if this altar is now channeled by Team Skogh, it means that they have a single point on the core. One. Single pumpkin would then end the game. The Haka isn't quite moving in for this yet. They want level 20. This is the reason why they're delaying this. They want level 20. The Haka could come in here at the back, or they just let this slide. Apparently, yeah, they're letting it slide. They're playing it super safe. They're saying, hey, we don't care about those 4 shots at all. We're so far ahead. What we care about, on the other hand, is not ending. Not running this one down. And, yeah. Full bubble, more words for him. Light of Stormwind, and here comes the APOC. They got level 20, and now Furion pulls a Houdini. Rutsu gets wrecked as well. What does he? Oh, he's actually still alive. Ah, sorry, Rutsu, yeah, obviously Avatar copy, duh. So Avatar copy is also gone, got also wrecked. And with that, they are likely going to claim the bottom bell tower again. Tracer is gone. This is just an absolute beatdown. Great game, great performance by Team Skogh. They were absolutely prepared for this one, and they're going straight for it. The game was actually a bit delayed because 2 of the players on the side of Team Skogh were stuck in an ARAM. So apparently all that ARAM prep that they've been doing and that little warm-up has really helped them here, because they are crushing it right now. They are absolutely crushing it, which is huge. Now, 21 kills to 6, 5 points on the core, bell tower, control for Team Skogh, and a double altar coming up. We all know how this is likely going to go, particularly since Anduin, of course, has the bubble here as well. So if you have the invulnerability, then that's pretty big, and you can literally cheese stuff, which they're likely going to do. They got the Haka, who could sneak something, and they just have to protect this one shrine over here. That's all that they got to do. Tyrael isn't even here yet. Tyrael will not be here when the fight initially starts. They already have the copy on Abathar used, and that's another problem, because yes, he might go for an interrupt, but at the same time not going to be enough. There's the bubble, they cheese it, easy cheesy. That's the shots fired, no chance, and that is a victory. Game number 1 goes to Team Skogh. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Okay, Battlefield of Eternity is our second map. The lead goes to the red team, so job well done. Actually, it was an incredibly well played game by them, and I want to see what Dynouh is going to change now with this boys in order to bring this one back. They held previously the 2nd point in the ranking, and Team Skogh the 3rd. Now, as I already explained previously, one of the reasons why I don't show you the rankings is because teams play a different amount of matches on weekends, so it's not like we can always tell you, hey, how they measure up against each other. But in this case, at least, both of them, because we only had 2 playdays so far, had the same amount of games, and so they are fairly even. But Dynouh's team hasn't dropped the series up to now. So them losing here on the first map and now being at risk of losing the entire match, that's an interesting one. Madara and Dynouh, those 2 teams were the only ones that hadn't lost a single series yet, so quite important there. And again, obviously very early in the round robin, in case that you have missed it. So we had the preseason where we had the bot created matches. The bot put the players together after an internal matchmaking, after an internal MMR, and tried to create even lobbies, even considering the roles of the players a little bit so that they didn't have to play off-role as much as usual. And then the players that participated in that preseason and got a certain amount of wins were eligible for the player pool for the Captain's Draft tournament, where we are right now. So this is the Captain's Draft tournament. I mean, pretty obviously considering what kind of team names we're running here, but this is a full round robin as the first phase of the tournament, and we are currently on the 3rd playday, so to say. But heading into Battlefield of Eternity, ooh, missing the ban, alright. Okay, Sylvanas as a quick pick for Dynouh. Can already play macro, push his lanes a little bit, but missing a ban in game number 2. Yeah, not so sure about that. confidence. They looked at that and they were like, well, we banned Lucio, nothing else we need to ban. You boys got nothing that we're scared of. And don't forget, heroes that have been played previously cannot be played again in the same series. There are no pre-bans, this is Meta Madness, but the heroes can only be played once rule. They adopted that from my tournament. So, just in case that somebody's looking at this like, hey, why don't they pick Hanzo again? That's the reason. So, we got Urel, we got Uther. And Uther in particular is making this already more interesting than I want to admit, because there is also still the chance that they're playing Uther as the main tank. Small chance, but always there, so yeah. We get Blaze, we get Genji. Anduin was already played, so you can't go for the light bomb engage with Genji. That one is already off the table. Instead, Skogh is now banned. So they are also expecting that there's a high chance that Uther is the main tank. So yeah, we've seen both. We've seen Uther as the main, as solo support. We've seen Uther as main tank. But in this case, they just said like, yeah, we just don't want to deal with any potential combo that you could throw at us here. So we are banning out Skogh, and let's see what we're then gonna get from you. Okay, they're banning Vala. It's actually kind of shame. Absolutely love Vala, obviously. But, yeah. Was kind of to be expected, honestly. There's still a couple of heroes that you can play that can do good damage against the model. I'm actually, at some point in this tournament, I still expect to see Lunara at some point. So, yeah, that would be another one. Not necessarily for this map right now, but Bambi can be an option. Okay, now we're getting... Ooh, Panda time! Alright, so we already have Blaze. Now we get Chen. So it seems like a main tank Chen for them now. And we get White Main as the heal. Alright. I'm already kind of intrigued. What is Bishop's gonna play? Bishop's loves to play his Cassia, generally speaking. But that obviously was already a thing, and he played Hanzo in that game. Li Ming and Muradin. So Uther is indeed the solo support. Yeah. No Uther main tank, but a lot of stuns regardless. I mean, Muradin stun, Uther stun behind it, displacement with Urel when she jumps in too. And on the right side, what do we get as the final pick? What's it gonna be? Bishop is taking a sweet time. He played a lot of false start on other maps, but I don't think we're going to get it here. We're getting Chromie instead. Okay, guys, here we are. We have map number 2. Skogh's team is in the lead. Dynouh and his boys, they got to step it up a little bit if they want to take this one. Battlefield of Eternity is our second map. Second game in the best of 3, we have Team Skogh in the lead. And over on the left side, we got Captain Rex with Uther, Dynouh and Sylvanas, Rutsu on Li Ming, Johan is playing Muradin, and Dequaza is playing Urel. To the right side of the map, the red team, the team that could decide it in their favor here with a 2-0. Skogh playing Blaze, Gavlon Chromie. We have Bishops on Genji, so they swapped their heroes around. Max Passion is playing Chen, main tank Chen, and Hunter Orc is playing White Main. Alright, so with that said and done, we now have already our bot lane set up. I was just about to say that they're going for a 3-2 split, and Genji is moving between the lanes right now, so he's actually double checking in the middle if there's anybody else for Team Dynouh present there, and now joins the rest at the bottom to make this a 4 versus 4 down here. So, up at the top, our solo play. Hello and goodbye. Muradin gets killed. I gotta say, Johan does not have the best time here today. He died enormous amount of material. There at least he could still say, you know what guys? I'm not dying. I'm using my trade. Here in this game though, that is not quite an argument anymore now that he's playing Muradin. So again, he's been taken out fairly quickly. Up at the top. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, they're going for Li Ming in the back. Bishops is now the one trying to poke a bit. And Dynouh with Sylvana. Ah, Skogh! The balls of steel on that boy. Look at that shit. He is pretty much dead and just says YOLO and darts in with a stun, and they nearly get a kill out of it. I expected him to desperately try to escape, but far from it. So, yep. Skogh going full ham on them. Balls to the wall there from him. Now, we have down to the bottom of the map now the battle folding up in regards to the camp, and it's going to be a 5 versus 5. Look at Dynouh. Dynouh might be in trouble here because Max Passion is jumping in. They're going for Dynouh. They're going for... Wow. Sylvanas and Liming have both been killed. The camp has been claimed, and they nearly killed Uther too. Yeah, they're looking really good here. 3 kills to 0. They already impressed me in the first series that they played, but now they're just doing an absolute stellar job over here. Hunter Orc is pausing the game for good reason. I mean, at this point, Whitemane is just congratulating herself for the great job done in the last battle because she's been doing so much work and keeping everybody alive. I think that's absolutely justified. Quick round of applause from us here as well. Nicely done, nicely done. So, yeah, well played here. Hunter Orc still celebrating. I mean, maybe a little bit too long. Reminds me of some Snicker advertisements from back in the day. But yeah, he's definitely grabbing 2 of them if the length of the break is any indication. That said, though, the lead is pretty respectable. You have 3 kills to 0. You have a half-level lead, more than that even. And now they can start to go and break that wall down. They're not going to do the entire thing, I suppose. I would think that, yeah, Max Passion is already rotating top. But we have also stacks for Muradin with 7, so he goes for the perfect storm here. So it's going to be quite interesting how they're going to fare in the first objective, because given the fact that they just got a bit of a beating and lost the camp, they are also behind experience, meaning this is easily going to translate into an early level 7 talent for the red team. Always assuming that they're not inting now and losing multiple heroes. But this little gap in experience should help them to get level 7 faster. And normally when you're fighting over the first objective, this is a pretty big indicator of who gets an advantage over the objective. So we have to keep our eye on that. And, well, seems like I'm being proven wrong. They were able to take the entire wall down. So even more of an advantage. I mean, even better. So currently we have 3 kills to 0. We have level 4 already in. We're getting for Chen the Deadly Strike after the freshest ingredients. Which immediately makes me hungry upon reading the talent again. So, yeah, there's that. And Sledgehammer. So it's hammer time. Stacks on level 1 and then Sledgehammer on level 4, which of course we're seeing a lot on this map. Extra damage against the Immortal, you kind of want to have that. There's no reason not to go down that path. Each team going for their camp, so we have it over on the right side, and we just got it from the blue team too. And they're starting to move in for this. We have the objective targeted very quickly by the blue team, forcing Team Skogh into a defensive position for now. But they're defending pretty well, and they're also starting to do damage to particularly Urel, who has to move away here. Top side, camp gets pressured, and this is where Dynouh really shines. Now this is where Dynouh becomes an absolutely pain in the ass. We've seen this with Hazu earlier, but Dynouh is in a similar spot, where if you make the wrong decision on how you're rotating, what you're prioritizing, Dynouh is going to be the one that makes you pay for every single misstep that you do. You hesitate a bit too long defending your own Immortal, he is going to take your wall. So that can bring them back into the game, and just look at how well they're doing here. They are still behind experience, but they're already catching up on this, and they just won the halftime show. Pretty much for free. Like, there's no price that they paid. Both camps have been defeated, but they just claimed the halftime show without any problem whatsoever. A simple rotation and the resulting... Oh, yeah, but that only works if you don't lose anybody. And Uther is gone. Dynouh's doing the same thing again. So, again, even with a kill against Uther, they're paying a price. But they are bringing this back now. Getting these kills is sweet. That is really working for them. But I am already scared what Dynouh can do to them as the game continues. Particularly those forts are going to suffer. So, yeah. Muradin gets attacked. Johan, hop little dwarf, hop. But I think he might be... Nah, he's still okay. If there were a few more cooldowns available, that would be a different story. But Dynouh already moved in again. So he's playing a really dangerous game, always moving from one case to the next, pushing a lane, pushing the objective, pushing a lane, just moving away from them. If they can catch him eventually, and if, for example, Genji can make a move for him, then it becomes a very different story quickly. But at least for now, this play is working beautifully for him. So the objective likely still won by the blue team, but only by the smallest margin considering where we started. So they are grabbing the Immortal, but the damage is still coming, and they're hoping for a kill here on Urel. They cannot get it though. Ah, well, but Sylvanas goes down. Okay, so Genji is able to get the kill on Sylvanas. Is insanely low, but is still able to get away here. No chance. Oh, well, actually Uther could kill him. And yeah. Oh, Bishops. Whoa, that was close. The cooldown at the final moment, and he gets it. Nice. Nicely done. Absolutely awesome plays. 5 kills to 0. Yeah, still a little bit ahead of the experience, but not by much. But yep, with 5 kills to 0, this is still looking really, really good for them here. So the shots are being fired, the fort is saved, but at least some damage has been done. I gotta say, I'm kinda impressed by this. Intercession is now in as a level 7 talent. At the top, they're still chasing this a bit, but I'm very intrigued who's going to take this. It would be huge if Skogh's team takes this with a 2-0. That would be big. I mean, again, Dynouh's team is definitely one of the favorites. They got the Quasar over there, Dynam Salon. Yeah, and already they're showing it by taking down Chromie. The Chromestar getting slapped around a little bit. And they're slapping Blaze too. Okay, so both of them dead. And here comes Dynouh with his boys using Sylvanas to shut down the fort at the top lane. No chance on that one. Fort already gone. Everybody else down at the bottom of the map here, going for a camp, at least on the side of the red team now. Couldn't really do anything there. But making this interesting already from the start. 16,000 damage for Genji. 16,900 for Li Ming. Camps get divided, each team takes one. Leading experience is in the hands of the blue team. It's a small lead, but again, it's there. They get the early level 10. Shouldn't be able to do anything with it, considering that Skogh is catching up in a second. But pretty much everything as expected. No big surprises happening. Muradin, he is continuing here with likely Avatar. And yep, there it is. Chen is going for the barrel, so it's going to keg it up. And Muradin, talking about him, is sitting now at 28 stacks on his level 1. So 28 stacks for him, bit of a damage increase as all of this continues, and we'll see what he can do, especially to the Immortal later on with his level 4 talent, combining all of that. They got a lot that they can use to really burn this down fairly quickly, more than the red team. So yep, there we are. Starting to make a move. Everybody is racing for the halftime show, and the blue team wins it once again. So as is, we're now looking at objective number 2. Genji nearly completing his quest. Muradin misses the Storm Bolt, but yeah, they're getting there. And the shots are already being fired against the red team's Immortal. They gotta protect this. And they have someone that deals with the other side. So not easy. Not even a little bit. This is getting insanely dangerous. They're losing this way too fast. Now Urel is jumping in, so they got always someone approaching. What they are lacking, honestly, is a decent amount of CC. I mean, it's not like they have none, but everybody's playing around them. So you see so many times that heroes on the blue team side are attacking from multiple angles on whatever they want. Here comes the attempt to control this a little bit. Avatar used and Divine Shield, maybe a bit of an overkill. Stormbolt is also missing, so they're still defending here, but they can't defend forever. If they don't apply any pressure themselves, then this is just a matter of time. If they can't apply pressure to the blue team's Immortal, then this is just a timing question. Chen is already being chased. The fort is not doing anything. Well, now again a little bit. Maybe they dove a bit too deep here. And I absolutely love how Whitemane is just keeping all of them in play for as long as possible. Just heal, 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 heal the entire time. 30,000 already on this. Doubling what Uther puts out. Talking Uther, yeah, Big Daddy Uther is now gone. Ghosting around a bit. Dynouh right away looking to see if maybe it's a better choice to go for the fort now instead of dealing with the Immortal, which is now attacked by Chromie. But they are going for the Quasar. Ooh, Urel! And here's the kill. Urel is gone. Team Skogh. Guys, they are doing some work here. I like this. It's a really difficult game for them to play, and they are able to just coordinate this still around all of the problems that they are presented with. Now, here comes the push again, and I think the two of them might be able to still win this for the blue team. Chromie is nearly done, and is able to pull it off towards the end, and Muradin dies! Oh, that hurts! Muradin dying and Uther also getting murdered again. Yeah, that's a problem. So all of a sudden, they're getting one kill after another. Bishops dies, but he gets the kill. That was important. If he dies, if he oversteps, and then he doesn't get the kill, it's a huge problem because that Immortal would not nearly be as effective as it now will be. But still, it's a 4 versus 2 now, so they can do a lot of damage. Despite the fact that they had to move back to first and foremost deal, of course, with their top lane push, but also to recover hit points and mana, they will still do damage here. But if you compare this a bit, it's 13 versus 13 in regards to talents, and they might still not get that fort. So they've been pushing, they've been doing a good job, but they've also been losing time since they had to move back, and they are likely not going to get that fort up at the top lane. So Chen is jumping in again any second. He has, by the way, his ult, so he can use that and kick him out here. Can go for some top shelf plays on this one. But the fort is not destroyed yet. Yeah, they won the second objective, but they didn't do nearly as much as Team Dynouh was able to accomplish with their own objective earlier today. So a bit rough for them. With level 13, we get the lashing out. And we'll also get getting the timeout here as Chromie picks up her next talent. Sylvanas again down at the bottom of the map, and the same game is being played by Dynouh. Whereas everybody on the red team, top side. Dynouh pushing the lane out, that fort is going to take damage. In this case, he plays it a bit safer, it doesn't go in with it. But of course, Blaze, he's coming in, but they're losing a lot of hit points on this one. And with a lot, I mean a lot. This thing is down to 50% of its HP. Up at the top, the poke and battle continues. Mirrodin is at 12,000 damage, 33,000 by Li Ming. Dynouh has 23,000, and Genji, of course, is also poking and poking and poking. Bishops is doing a fantastic job with that hero. Yeah, pretty impressive. He only died once, but he had, especially in the last 2 fights, a huge impact. So now they're trying the same here again. Yeah, another hit is coming. Okay, so with that, we now have Max Passion coming in again. They're starting for Muradin. These pokes, exactly what Bishops just did, is just so impactful. He comes in, pokes a little bit, dashes back out, but it's just continuously happening throughout the game and making it really difficult for a lot of those heroes to stay topped up in HP, which then presents opportunities for others later, particularly Chromie, to try and get a kill. With a fast forward now on level 16. They are also a bit closer to level 16, but the Immortals are spawning again, and it's the same picture. They are already present here. They take the advantage once again and force the red team to defend. It's all about kills now. Up to this point, it's 10 kills to 3, so Team Skogh can capitalize on higher death counters if that trend holds. But if at any point the blue team is able to turn this around and get a few kills themselves, then there's even more trouble brewing for the red team. They've been trying to hold on, they've been doing a great job, they're getting closer to 16. That window would allow them to do more work here, but it is going to be tricky. And already Sylvanas is rotating around from the top, is trying to flank in here, at least thinking about it. Dynouh decides against it and is now moving towards the top to stop apparently the camp from taking the fort on. That is going to be nice, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. This is still taking damage, and he's also going to lose time here that can be used at the bottom to finally get level 16 talents for Team Skogh, and this is what they're working for. Now Sylvanas taking the top down also gives them a lot of experience, and they're going to try and use that here. Kick plays have already been executed, but that window of opportunity has now shrunk. It's non-existent. Yeah, Sylvanas has gotten too much experience for them. It's absolutely non-existent. They get level 16 at the same time. With that, we get the Templars Verdict. Benediction is ready. 16 on both sides. Still defense mode. Divine Shield and Avatar, again on Muradin. So they are using a lot of their defensive tools here, trying to keep the front line alive, but you can always ask, is that maybe wasting a cooldown? Are they too protective here? Whitemane is in trouble. He's trying to get out here. So far, so good. Everybody's chunked up. Need to be careful with the Immortal Sun too. Dynouh, and he's dead. Dynouh is dead, Sylvanas is gone, and now those death timers are already a lot higher and impactful. Chen jumps in, they take down Sylvanas, they take down Li Ming, they take down Muradin. And now they are also dropping Uther. 4 heroes eliminated, big opportunity now for Team Skogh. Really big opportunity for them. Even the Quasar is in a bit of trouble and has to retreat here, but just take a look at this fight. I mean, they did such a great job here. Chen in particular, Fat Illidan did everything that he needed to do here. Jumping in after one target after the next. So yeah, let him eat cake is what I say. Let him eat cake. Fat Illidan in tip-top shape. and they get the Immortal. And now they can go for some of those forts finally. Seems like Bishops is already trying here at the top. Needs to be very careful that he doesn't get caught, but he's gonna get this one. So the fort is down. Immortal at the bottom of the map, that's where it's gonna touch next, so 2 forts will now be destroyed. And of course, that gap in experience has now really been extended. They are quite ahead now, more than a level. So, yeah, as is, we are seeing them hit this hard. They're going for the fort, this thing doesn't survive very long. The shield on the Immortal is admittedly low, but they should be able to break through the wall, through the gate. It's probably all that they can really do here, but for the next push, it is going to be fairly important. So yeah, job well done. Things are looking good right now. They're taking this on one thing at a time. So this is them breaking through the gate, taking it on fairly easily. We're having at the same time also the keep itself taking damage. And honestly, if they are playing their cards right, they might even be able to walk away with the entire thing. Bunker is already out. Keck plays. Dynouh. Haha, dead again. Fat Illidan with a kill. Dynouh gone, has been killed, and the keep has been destroyed. Bishops dead, a price that they're more than willing to pay. Always assuming that they're not having to pay more here. Quasar. Oh yes, they get Mirrodin. Quasar was able to escape, but all of a sudden it's not only Mirrodin that dies, but the other guy with the beard is also drowned. So they are looking at the core, and they're thinking about it. There's only 2 defenders, one of them being Li Ming. Core is at 99%. If they really want to take this, then they gotta make that decision soon. They're poking nicely. I actually like what they're doing here. Rutsu is low, so he has to be careful. If he gets too close, Max Passion is gonna jump on him. They might not be able to take the entire thing down, but guys, even that poke, even if they retreat, that's a core at 76%, 60%. They're looking great here. And their Quasar is gone, and that should be the end of the game. That should be a 2-0 victory. Team Skogh, insanely impressive. Insanely impressive performance by them, and they are just in such a good shape here. They take down Dynouh's team, 18 kills to 4, a 2-0 victory for Team Skogh. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.